Hello, my name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr., and I was born July 4th, 1986. Today I want to talk a little bit about what I come to realize and see as what a confident dog is, and what it takes, and what you got to do to be able to get that confident dog. Because a confident dog doesn't use the terms of we like to use today of react at other dogs, at other people, at other things, at anything. A confident dog is just very, very, what I'm going to say is socialized the correct way, and it's neutral in every scenario. It's neutral seeing trains, it's neutral seeing birds, it's neutral seeing other dogs, it's neutral seeing humans, it's neutral seeing everything in its world, because it's seen it its entire life. And that's something that a lot of times, we get a dog that we don't know and we're unsure of. But there's one thing that I do know, that when you are able to get that dog through, where I'm going to say the stressful, scared dog, you're able to get them through what they're scared of. That's when they start to become confident. Not running away from stuff, not constantly just trying to, you see your dog is nervous and just keep on moving away. I'm not the know-it-all, be-all. I'm not the one that just has, I'm just some dude that's just worked with a few dogs, a lot of dogs, a lot of people, and I've just come to see the same things just happen over and over again. Because I would just, the main test that I was doing at first was seeing that my dogs do stuff that I was like, others just don't do. And then I noticed a few other people, like, y'all dogs just chill as well. Like, they're not reactive, they're not barking at stuff. They don't even care. They see a reactive looking dog barking in its face, and it just like looks at them, and it looks the other way like, I don't want nothing, I don't care about any of that. That's all my dogs are, they always have been. And even this dog here, this is my new dog, my new puppy. So she's like 7 months, but she's not puppy, but she puppy. Hi, Ophi, use a cutie. But even when I first got her, I noticed like, hey, this dog is a little weary about certain things. It's a little paying too much attention to certain stuff that I don't want her to pay attention to. Day after day of being with her, and what I got her on Saturday, so it's what, 4 or 5 days now that I've had her. I've noticed that all this is just going away. The same thing that I've noticed with taking people's dogs that are reactive, that I keep it for a couple of days and it just stops doing that. So it just makes me start thinking more and more of like, well, what's going on here? What's happening? And then I got to thinking, like, especially in certain circumstances that are very, very confusing to me. Because I would say, well, if the human is confident, the human isn't nervous, the human isn't worried, the human is good to go, then obviously the dog's going to be. And I'll say that that's actually not the truth at all. A very, very confident, bold, go-getter out there, very, extrovert that goes everywhere, does everything, doesn't mean that you have a really nice, really confident dog. And also at the same time, it would confuse me of how come some people are so shy and so timid, and they have like the dog that's just like everybody wishes they could have. Because me, myself, I'm not that outgoing, out there talking to everybody. I'm very just in my lane, doing what I'm doing. But yet my dogs are just, they don't care. And it's interesting because they, let's say, do what it is that I do. They do what it is that I ask them to do, and they do what it is that I'm looking for them to do. So if I'm saying to myself, I do not want you to bark at another dog, my dogs just don't do that. And the one thing that I think that a lot of us are failing at is this one method here that doesn't come down to no dog training, I'm going to say. It comes down to something that is just completely different that we really need to focus on. And that comes down to the concept and the idea of, this is why, to me personally, I don't like that term reactive dog that we like to use today, because it puts a label on your dog. It puts you in a scenario, in a case that you're just like, this is what my dog is, and this is just what he's going to be. And I need to work my dog through this. That's setting you up, I'm going to say up front, as failure. It's setting you up to already be in a position that you're not going to get anywhere, because you're looking at your dog as if it's like for worse, something's wrong with it. And my dog is crazy. My dog is I've heard this before. My dog is an idiot. My dog just is stupid. I've heard all kinds of stuff that people talk about with their dogs, just saying that they're incapable of it. But then I get the dog and I'm like, your dog is not any of that. Your dog is really, really nice. Oops, sorry, girl. I know you're nervous. You're nervous about a few little things. I got you. But just like this, because I'm going to talk about what we need to work on with stuff like this. But the main thing that I've really just noticed is the more that we as humans are looking at our dogs as there's something wrong and I need to fix and I need to do, the more that we don't do. And I don't know if y'all understand this about human behavior or not, but that's just the matter of fact, the reality of it. The only way that you're going to get success is if you just get up and you start doing more and more and more of what it is that you're looking for and what you want to get done, instead of just thinking that it's no good. You're going to have it in your mind, taking your dog for a walk. My dog is going to bark at everything when I go for a walk. It makes you do less of that. And then at the same time, it makes you already like prepare. And then it makes you do different weird things. Like now I only go when I think or no one's going to be around. I go at specific times that I know no one's going to be out. I'm not there in the mornings now in the thick of it when everyone's walking. I hide myself and I run away. You don't think that your dog understands that? As opposed to just saying, we're gonna do this, man, because this is what I'm looking for from you to do. I want you to do this, so this is what we're gonna do. I want you to get better, so this is what we're gonna do. And then the main thing that I think we get really, really jammed up with working with dogs is when we see them get nervous, when we see them get scared. Like right there, I don't know how much of the camera you could see her, but she got scared. I lift my foot up and I moved the leash, and she's like, what the heck is going on, man? So when I see that she gets into that scared state, that's not the time for me to, oh, poor baby, oh, you okay? No, it's the time for me to ignore that. It's the time for me to just say, we'll get through that. We're gonna figure that out. We'll get past it. But if I sit there and I do the whole slow down and try to pet her and soothe her, that's what's destroying the dogs. I see this over and over and over again. That's why for me, when I take dogs that are in that state, in not even 24, 48 hours, the dog is already transformed into something different, because it's seeing that I'm not feeding into that. And then that dog looks at me like, dude, you tough, you strong, not in a dictator, ruler, any of that, but just in a way that I'm not nervous. Like, you could follow my lead because I'm not scared of what you're scared of. Again, dogs are in the moment. They are not thinking of before. They're not thinking of what could be. They're thinking of where we are right now. So when the dog gets nervous of something that I even accidentally did, lifted my foot in a way that kind of scared her, it was my fault. But if I feed into her, because we're in the moment, we're in this second. If I look at her, she's nervous, and I'm just like, what the heck's going on? What's wrong? She's gonna look at me like, man, I could deal with that. Like, that's pretty cool. That's pretty nice. Hey guys, or we can play a little bit later. I know y'all want to have a good time, but if I move on and I give into that, that's what's gonna create the dog to start to be more and more nervous. So when I see that my dog is flipping out at another dog, I'm like, oh, I gotta hold him. I gotta do this. I gotta do something. I gotta say words out of my mouth. Oh, it's okay. It's all right. Everything's gonna be okay. We'll get past it. All of that you're doing, as opposed to just, I don't care. Because this is the same thing that I see over and over with what I'm going to say is a reactive dog. They go at the end of the leash and they start barking, and then they always 100% do this right here, I'm going to say. They always stop at some moment and look back at you. They're seeing what you're doing. If you're tense and, oh my goodness, what's happening, the dog is going to say like, yeah, I need to stay in this. I need to get into this. If you're just like, oh, please, oh, sweet baby, oh, so thing, the dog's going to look back at you because they're in the moment. That's, I think, the number one thing that we as dog owners, and especially trainers out here, need to really, really understand. The dogs do not know what's going to happen. They know what is happening right this second. And if right this second, hey, Oreo, come here. Come here. I know, come here. If we're right in this second, then we need to be able to make sure that the dog, get down, that the dog is seeing what it is that's going to be able to reflect something that is going to be, say, that positive experience to them. If they're scared outside, it's a negative experience. So they need to find something positive in that negative. That's where we're struggling today. You know, I got an interesting comment of a negative and a negative equals a positive. Yes, for math problems, that works that way. But in real life, everything, that is foolish. I have to add a positive to that negative, and that isn't adding something extra. That is just being neutral to allow the dog to see that just calm, neutral, chill is the way to go. As soon as you start adding extra when the dog is nervous, such as adding extra communication and, oh, sweet babies, and adding extra treats, and, oh, come over here, and adding extra touch, and adding extra pulling on the leash, and adding extra toys, and adding extra anything, You're adding extra to make sure that that dog's negative experience is still staying just in a negative experience. You need to take some things away, such as do nothing at all. And that's what gains the confidence in a dog, to be able to see that everything is okay. Once the dog is able to see that you are okay in that moment, the dog is going to get through it. It's going to say, oh, everything is fine, man. Everything is chill. I don't need to worry about anything. Because this dog here, we've been real good so far. But the one thing that she got jammed up is going in the house. So what is the one thing that we do when a dog is stopped and it's at the end of the leash? Oh, poor baby is scared. This is what they were trying to do to her in the vet. And I watched her just go downhill. And I was like, man, I got to build the confidence back up in this dog, because what's going on here? They just leaned, oh, she's scared and she's this. So she turned into this completely different dog in just a couple of minutes of me having her, because I wasn't doing that. I was like, we're going. And then she got cool with me instantly. She's like, oh, I can hang with you, man. You tough, man. You get me through my problems. But as soon as you come at them with that softness and that sweetness, I'm telling you, that just destroys your relationship with the dog, because now it thinks that you are more scared than it is even scared. So when you're in that situation where you're throwing treats at the dog and the dog is scared, it's like, wow, you are more scared than I am even scared. So of course I'm not going to listen to, and of course I'm going to keep making things keep on getting worse. And that's something that we as humans just continuously keep on doing, and it's not helping the dogs in any way. And it comes down to also what we're thinking about. If you're thinking already up front, I hope I don't see a dog today because it's going to this or it's going to that, you're failing your dog, because you're not just being that confident person of knowing everything is fine. And one thing that I'm going to say is to get yourself something to have more confidence. So if you're scared of, I know a lot of us out here, oh, I'm scared of an off-leash dog coming up to my dog. For me, I don't care. I don't care. I prefer a dog off-leash to come up to my dog. I rarely ever have issues. And if I do have an issue, my dog is like, I know how to handle myself, because every dog out here knows how to handle themselves. Except for some of these little small ones, I get you. It's a little scary. But if you're scared, if you're nervous out for a walk of what could come up to me, and that's your language, that's why I need to protect my dog, this and this, they get you a big stick. They sell these sticks. You can get them, and they sell these retractable batons and all that. Get you something so that if a loose dog comes up to your dog, you have something that you feel safe and secure with, to be able to make sure that you can protect not only just yourself, but your dog as well. Get something so that you are able to get yourself in a sense of security, so you're not nervous, you're not worried. The more that you're out there nervous and worried, the more that you are going to make that dog just be absolutely horrible. And it's just going to make the dog keep getting worse and worse and worse, because you're scared of what could happen and what should happen and what ifs and what all this stuff, as opposed to what is. The main thing that we really need to understand is what is with the dog. They are right here. If you're scared right now, your dog is also scared right now. If you're confident right now, your dog is confident right now. If you're good to go right now, your dog is good to go right now. If you're not unsure and worried and weary, your dog is weary and unsure right now. You could test this all day long inside of your household with just doing and acting and portraying, and the dogs will reflect all of that's going on with you. If you're angry right now, you're gonna watch your dog be like, I don't want to be anywhere around you. If you're happy right now, you're gonna watch your dog just run up to you and look at you like you're the world's best, greatest thing right now. If you're unsure in any of these things, your dog is going to reflect all that you are right this second, not what you think you're going to be. And this is where I think a lot of people get very, very jammed up when it comes down to dogs. Because a lot of us say we're doing something. A lot of us say we're about something. A lot of us say that, no, I don't do that and I don't do this. But when it really comes down to what you're actually doing, that's where you're realizing, okay, maybe I am doing that. Okay, maybe I am acting like that. Okay, maybe I am not as confident as I thought I was. As many of us out here acting like, well, I'm just so confident. I'm the boss. I'm take care of myself. I'm independent. And then I could see your lifestyle and your livelihood and realizing that all of that is just false. I don't care what you're saying out of your mouth. I care about what you're doing. And your dog is going to show you what you're doing when it comes down to that. Because if you're so strong and so independent and so on your own and so courageous and all this stuff, in reality, your dog would be that reflection, because you wouldn't be nervous to go places. You wouldn't be nervous to do things. You wouldn't be nervous with the dog is out. You wouldn't be nervous with people around. You wouldn't be nervous about getting up and actually doing stuff. But that's not the reflection that's going on. And that's something that I think a lot of us should really just think hard about with ourselves. Because a very, very shy, very, very timid person can have a very, very nice, very, very confident dog, because they're going to look at that dog and say, hey, we're here, we're good to go. And that's the concept that I'm going to say is that's why you can't buy the love of a dog. You just can't. You can't like buy stuff for them. You can't do stuff for them in reality to get them to just love you. The only way that you can is to get them through the things that they're scared of. If they're scared of something, you need to work them through that. You need to find as many absolute things as possible to find them to get scared in things. Hey, Johnny, you can leave the donkey alone. You need to find as many absolute possible things to get your dog to be able to get through the things that they're scared of. And that's something that may be hard for some, but I'm going to tell you, more likely it's not. It may be as simple as getting your dog on the couch. It may be as simple as getting your dog off the couch. It may be as simple as putting your dog into a crate. It may be as simple as getting your dog to get out of the dang on crate. Some dogs they're terrified to get out. They're like, I'm fine where I'm at. Some dogs are scared to go between doors. Some dogs are scared to go out the back door. Some dogs are scared to go down hallways. Some dogs they're scared of all kinds of things. And if we're constantly just feeding into that scaredness that they have, we're going to continuously keep on making them just keep getting worse and worse and worse, to the fact that they're just not going to trust you. And that's where you're running into the situation that the dog needs to do on its own. That's why a dog is going to bark at the end of the leash, because it thinks that it needs to do on its own. It thinks that it has no one there to back them. It thinks that it has no one there to help them. It thinks that it's just all alone. And the person that's on the leash behind them, they're just there as just a little a show, and they're not actually capable of doing anything. And that's why you see it keep getting worse and worse and worse, and never to the point that it's just getting better on its own. It just doesn't get better on its own. We have to change what we're viewing and what we're doing and what's going on with the dog. We cannot just allow the dogs to stay in these absolutely scared, frantic, wild, savage states. We have to get them out of that fear. And we have to show them that that fear is nothing. Because majority of the fears that the dogs have, it's meaningless to us. But it comes down to the approach that you're going to do with being able to explain to that dog what's going on. If I kick my foot too wild and I see my dog gets nervous, I'm going to continue to keep doing that until my dog looks at it like it's okay. Because it's going to realize, oh, you're not actually hitting me. Oh, you're not doing anything to me. If you move your hand like this and the dog gets nervous, I'm going to continue to keep moving my hand like that and give my dog some space to realize and assess the situation. Hey, nothing's happening to me. I'm still alive. I'm still cool. I'm still fine. And I'm like, yeah, you are. And some of this stuff, that's where the leash comes in handy, to be able to make sure that you can communicate to that dog effectively so that it can't run away from you. It has to stay close to realize that nothing's going down here. Nothing's going to happen. So if you kick your foot and the dog gets nervous, it's on the leash, it may go to the back of that leash. But you're just going to stand there neutral and just say, hey, oh, okay, well, nothing's happening. You didn't get hit. You not get hurt. Nothing's happening to you. And then your dog gets through that. And then you start to kick your feet and it just doesn't care anymore. If you're jumping and running and doing stuff and the dog gets nervous, you're just going to put the dog on a leash and have it stay with you. And the dog is just going to continue to keep on seeing that. And it's going to realize, oh, I didn't get hurt. Everything's okay. Everything's fine. Because that's what happens when the dogs are barking at the other dogs. It's thinking that it's going to hurt them. It's thinking that something's going to happen to them. It's thinking that they're going to come and savagely just destroy them. But when they see that and they're able to process it and look at it and not run away from it, not try to attack it up front, and they're going to say, hey, I didn't get hurt. I'm fine. Everything is okay. It's like, yeah, you're fine. Everything is okay. Everything is all right. There's nothing to worry about here. And that's what the dogs need to continuously keep on going through and keep on seeing. If the dog is scared of different noises, if the dog is scared of the thunderstorms, this is one way to get your dog to not care about thunderstorms anymore. It's raining, get outside, sit on your patio, put your rain jacket on, and just sit out there. It's thundering, put them on leash and have them hang out with you. You're just going to sit there. Everything's fine. Everything is okay. They're going to get super nervous. They're going to want to run away. They're going to want to escape. They're going to want to do everything that they can. But they're just going to eventually stop and look at you and just say, hey, you hanging out, dude. You just chill. What's going on here? And then they're not going to worry, because they're going to follow your lead. These dogs want to follow our lead in everything that we do. You're going to very, very, very rarely find this dog that's just so its own self independent and wants to do what it wants to do. No, they are looking for a leader. They are looking for, and that's where it gets hard with some dogs, because they're looking for that really, really good leader. The one that's just is not scared at all in anything. And you're good to go. You're not nervous. You're not worried. And it's going to challenge you to make sure that you are good to go. And you have to be that for them. You have to see the things that they're scared of and just push them straight through it. You cannot allow them to continuously stay in an anxious, scared state and think that it's just going to disappear, or it's just going to pass, or you're going to be the one that's going to soothe them through it. It just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. And who knows why, but it just doesn't work that way. I don't care what research things are going on here. It doesn't work that way with nature. Nature does not get better by trying to make its life, say, like, easier. It gets better by making its life more challenging and getting it through the things that it's struggling with. And then it looks at life like, oh, this is awesome. This is amazing. The more and more that you just throw because I've seen this with all my animals, man. With especially the goats were the first ones that I just was like, my goodness. Because that's where I realized treats don't work. They work in some cases, maybe 90% of the time. But the 10% is always it's always the danger. It's always like gonna get hit by a car. It's always like gonna get eat up by something in the middle of the night. It's always like the danger. So that 10% there's danger. It's like great that 90% I'm able to do with the treats that I can maneuver and move them, but that's the 10% that puts the life in danger. And I have to do something and focus a lot of time in reality on that 10% range, because the rest of it is just, oh, you didn't sit, you didn't sit. But that 10%, the dog is going to be dead. It's not going to be alive. It's going to get into a sticky situation. And that's where we're running away from. We're not paying attention to the main life and death aspects of working with these dogs. And when it comes down to a life and death aspect, the dog needs to see that we're confident. Otherwise, it's going to put itself into a life or death situation, and it's going to terrify the all heck can be out of you. And that comes down to us. Hey guys, let's leave my donkey alone. Come here. Let's leave the donkey alone. I know I'm putting you in a lot of pressure with him. I thank you that you're not barking at him, but I don't need you even antagonizing him right now. Come here. I know. Now look at the donkey is running. Get down. Johnny, come here. The donkey is running wild right now. Y'all got the donkey all crazy. Johnny, get down. Y'all getting my donkey all jammed up. But you see, like even from the beginning of the start of this video, me moving my feet and just paying her no attention to this scaredness, that she's starting to get better with it. She's getting to the point now that it's almost like she's getting into a playful stance with it. She looks at it like, oh, it's okay, everything is all right. It's for me to see that she was nervous, and then in reality just keep doing it, and to let her realize that everything is okay. Get off Johnny, man. Johnny, get down. To realize that everything, Johnny, you can go. You can go. Oreo, you can come back here though, because I know you're gonna go right to that donkey. Come here. Oreo down. Johnny, you can go. Oreo down. Johnny, you can go. Thank you. Got a donkey malfunction today. But the main thing is to push him through that fear. Like today on a walk today, my donkey he got knowing that he's protecting right now, so he acts a little different. He's not so tough. But this girl ran into a donkey that was wanting to kill her today, and she got terrified, and she literally just ran away. And I was just like, we're not doing that. She's at the end of the leash trying to escape, trying to get the heck out of here. I'm like, we're not doing that. And then I bring her to me, and we go and we walk past it, and I stand in front of it, and then we walk and we walk and we walk and we walk. And she's like, oh, there's like a fence that's keeping him. He can't get me. And I'm like, yeah, we're fine. Everything is all right here. And then she shakes it off. She's like, oh, okay, I can deal with this. I can deal with that. Like, dude, you're not scared of this big old Oreo. Yeah, Johnny, get down. You're not scared of this big old thing that's trying to hurt me, trying to do something to me right now? Because y'all, I'm telling you, this donkey is tough, guys. Y'all think y'all tough, but this donkey will hurt you. This donkey will get you. You think you fast, you think you powerful, you think you all great. I'm telling you, this donkey will hurt you. Y'all not tough. Y'all can't do what I do. Y'all relax. Thank you. Get down. You stay down, Oreo. I like these donkeys. It's the best way to get your dog. Your dog's scared, get yourself around a donkey, because they really put a lot of pressure on the dogs to be able to just get them through a huge fear. Like the donkey is the dog flipping out on the other side of the leash across the street from you. It is a huge thing to be able to have the dogs be able to see and realize that everything is okay, because they have it in them that they gotta get it before it gets them. And that's just instinctual in the dogs. And it's not so as being instinctual that we have dogs that do that to other dogs, but dogs that do that to the farm animals out here. And that's something that is sorry, get you untangled. That is something that is very powerful, that we all should be looking for to be able to get our dogs through and get our dogs past. You're such a sweet girl. And the biggest thing, the only way you're going to be able to get your dog to be able to get in a confident stance is to start to get them past what they're nervous of, and make them sit in it, make them deal with it, make them have no choice but to just marinate in it and just realize everything is okay. A lot of us are running away from fireworks and running away from gunshots and running away from thunderstorms and running away from all these things, as opposed to like running directly into it and standing there and exposing them and making them see and realize that, hey, nothing bad has happened to me. I'm here and nothing has happened to me. I'm still alive. That's what we have to do with the dogs to be able to get them to stop doing what it is that they're doing. Inside of the house, if your dog is barking, you need to explain to them, I'm not scared. I'm not nervous. I'm not worried. I don't care. And someone will say, oh, how do you do that? You do that by completely ignoring the animal when they're doing things in a scared state. You stay neutral, like I don't care, and you completely ignore the dog. You're kind of pushing the dog away in reality. You're not going to give it any kind of feedback. You're not giving it any energy. You're not giving it anything. You're saying, we're good. Everything's fine. What are you freaking out for? I'm fine. And the dog in that moment is going to look at you and say, oh, I guess everything is fine. I guess we are all right. I guess that is just it's just normal life. It's just every day. And you're gonna say, yeah, it is just every day. I'm not running away from it. I'm not trying to shield you and trying to suppress you. I'm not trying to hide your eyes. I'm not trying to make you look away. The certain methods that I see that go on with how to fix a reactive dog are just wild. You know, you put your dog in a sit stay and you stand in front of them so that they can't see the other dog. No, you're going to stare at the dog. You're going to look at it to see that everything is okay. Everything is fine. And again, if you're nervous that some loose dog is going to come up and attack your dog, get you an extendable baton. Have something on you. I always have a little, I don't have it on me right now. I don't know where it's at. But I pretty much always have a little knife on me that just makes me feel extra confident that if something tries to happen to me, I know I can handle myself. Have something on you like that. I'm not saying that you go out there and get you a pistol, do this. You get you a stick, man, even a stick. A stick deters like 100% of dogs. You just wave that stick in the dog's face and it's gonna get the heck away. It's gonna get away from your dog. And have something like that so that you can make yourself feel more secure. So that when you start to walk and you're a little nervous, you got like your backup security of everything is fine out here. Instead of trying to run away from it. The more that we're running away from all the things, the more that you're making it worse. The more that you're like, I only want to walk my dog once a week because it's barking and going crazy, the worse that you're going to get it. You need to start doing it 3 times a day to start to get your dog into a better place. And you're going to watch your dog get better faster and faster and faster. You take him out for 3 times a day, you watch him just get better so fast instead of running away from it. But that comes down to, in reality, getting up and doing something. And that's going to be the main thing that is going to be, I think, the biggest challenge that I have to try to explain to most people is to get up and do something. It's not just gonna happen. It's not just gonna get better. You gotta get up and do something, and you gotta make something happen. And you gotta make something happen in a way that you have to force yourself and have no choice. You have no choice. You have to do it. You have to, because if you just keep pushing it away, it's gonna keep getting worse. If it keeps getting worse, now you're gonna put this dog and put yourself into a dangerous, sticky situation. And you don't wanna be in that dangerous, sticky situation. You wanna figure out how to be able to make sure that you can be have a dog that's good to society as opposed to one that's going to be destructive. Because I'm telling you, there's going to be some new rules and new laws coming along with a lot of this dog stuff. And if you got a dog that is no longer considered in control on a leash, you're going to run into a very, very sticky situation. And these places today are no joke about being quick and being ready to put dogs down that they think are dangerous. They're not going to rehome them, rehabilitate them. The dog is just they're going to put it down. They're going to lock it up for 10 days, and after that 10th day, they're just going to put the dog down. And it's going to start happening because there's just nothing else that's going to make it be able to be better. There's no licenses. There's nothing else. It's going to say, we see dangerous dog. We see you can't control dog. That dog is gone. And I don't want that for people. And I want you to be able to get yourself in a position to be able to get your dog better. And it starts by being neutral. Dogs are in the moment. They do not think about what happened before. When you're like, oh, my dog was attacked by a dog and it's scared. No, you're scared. Your dog is in the moment. You're scared when you see dogs, so your dog is scared. Your dog doesn't care. My dog gets attacked once a week minimum. Every single day, he's got dogs bum rushing on his face. He is not scared. He's not shut down. He's not nervous because I don't care, because I know he can handle himself. I don't give him any feedback. It just is what it is. And he's totally chill. He's totally fine. All my dogs are this way. They all have gotten ran up on. Even my shy, sweet, shut down May has got ran up by dogs. And she just brushes it off like, oh, it's okay, because she knows how to handle herself. The reason your dog is scared is because you're scared. And we need to really, 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 really just understand that. And I would love for challenge me, please. Bring me your dog, and I will prove to you and show you that I can get your dog to get out of it. You get the heck away, and I'll show you a video of your dog doing things that you're just going to say, that's not my dog. And I'm going to tell you, I didn't have no switcheroo. This is your dog. I've done this over and over and over. I have never failed at this yet, because I'm watching the same thing happen over and over again. When I keep seeing the same thing happen over and over again, it just is what it is. I'm not gonna give a dog a treat for being scared. I'm not gonna coddle the dog for being scared. I'm not gonna be sweet to the dog for being scared. I'm just gonna stand and be neutral. I'm not gonna be mean to him. I'm not gonna tell him no. I'm not gonna be savage. I'm just saying, I don't see what's going on here. That's my language that I'm walking a dog. It's at the end of the leash, I'm just like, oh, you done? Oh, okay, let's go. That's it. And the dog does it a few times, and then they just stop. Like, man, this person's cool. Like, yeah, because I'm not scared of a stupid dog 50 feet away from me on the other side of a fence. It's not doing anything to me. Just get up and do something. 3 times a day, 4 times a day, 8 times a day. That's why for me, I don't know what it is that Dogs that are in apartments are doing better nowadays than dogs that are in households because they have to get up and do something every time. Whereas you just open your back door up and put your dog in the backyard. It's not helping. It's not working. It's not doing anything. You need to get up. You need to go out. You need to expose the dogs. And you need to make it happen. That's the only way that they're going to get better. Thank you. Oh, come on, girl. My leash is all tangled up again. I got you. I got to create a new leash that doesn't do that. It's Ophi. She cute.